Oh boy. Is this going to be is this going to be a show and and a night? I just that picture just says it all.
It does take me back to some good moments of my life.
Those are some of the greatest moments that you don't recall,
Yes, yes. I mean,
right?
it's New Year's, and it's crazy to think how times have changed. We're looking at the second tied, definitely the second bar busiest drinking night of the year. You know, St. Patrick's Day kind of goes up there, but New Year's is always it.
Right.
Uh, and man, I remember so many times, most of my life, I had to work New Year's, you know, at the club, at the
So
bar.
so you were in the thick of everything.
I was in the thick of it,
Yeah.
I remember one of the last New Year's I worked, 63 people deep in line, and I was behind, and I was general manager, so it wasn't just like I could just bartend. I had to,
You
but
had to.
I had to deal with everything else, and then there were other nights that were a little more mellow. I remember I worked at a place in Frisco, still there, but it was kind of like a mostly outdoor kind of like vibe. And, you never know with what the weather's going to be. And so we said, hey, let's stay open till about 10, because once it gets dark, there's not a lot of coverage. Doesn't matter how many heaters you have, people are going to go. And it was our first year, and we had a fun crowd. I was the only person there. It was me and a manager, and then one other person for food. That was it. And because we didn't know.
Yeah.
And we had a really nice crowd. I had about 40, 50 people there. I remember this is outside. So, um,
That's
till,
manageable.
yeah, till about 8, and then they left. I got home by 10, 10:15. This was prior to Luke was being born. So I got to party with my people, and I made good money. But most of them, up until like when I used to throw some really big parties prior to working in that industry, um, man, I was working. I do not miss working New Year's Eve. It's amateur night. It's amateur night.
Yeah. I remember going way back where the a lot of the hotels would put together these package deals where you go in, like 5 o'clock on New Year's Eve, and you start with hors d'oeuvres and something to drink, and then you have a dinner, and then more partying and music and more drinking, and then they'd have a midnight buffet. And then more partying, and then you'd stay overnight at the hotel and get up and have breakfast and mimosas, and they put a whole package deal. And I mean, way back then it was fairly affordable. Today there's still hotels that are doing that, but
Yeah.
it's, it's like a second mortgage to attend.
I mean, like Vegas does it,
Yeah.
and they have options. I mean, even downtown Dallas. Well, look, you can go to Plano right now and stay at. There's several decent hotels in Plano, honestly, that have these events. That hey, we got a DJ, we got food. Don't drive, just walk upstairs, stumble upstairs,
Yeah.
and party. The biggest thing is though, I think you get to that, and I hate to throw age into it because it's not always the case, but you get to a certain point in your life. That point might be 25 years old. It could be 40 years old. It could be 60. Who knows?
Yeah.
Where you're like, you know what? I'm not doing it.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're talking about my age.
No,
you know, where I'm happy watching Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen getting smashed on Times Square,
yeah.
waiting for the ball to drop.
My biggest thing is like, when Luke's over, I put on a little party for him. We have music. I get him poppers and things like that. I always buy him his sparkling juice. He calls it his fancy juice,
Yeah.
and we pop it, give him a glass to drink out of, and we have fun. And if he makes it till 10:15, I'm impressed. Um, Last year was really cool because he got those turntables, so we were just doing the DJ stuff all night. And then it was like 10:30, and I look over, and this dude's out. He was that guy, you know. And it's fun. Here, I say unfortunately, because it's unfortunate. He's gonna be with his mom. She's off. And you know what? Hey, I know they're gonna have fun. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
So I'll be running solo, that night, tonight.
Yeah.
And who knows what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna do anything. Um, maybe have some cocktails, maybe watch the ball drop, maybe not. Might go live. Honestly, I might go live on TikTok at midnight
Well,
and
we
just
always watch the ball drop, I mean, because for one thing, in New York, that's an hour ahead of us. So that means we can watch the ball drop, say Happy New Year, and be in bed at 11. But
yeah,
and then or you can even start earlier and you can watch the ball drop in London.
that's
And
true.
that's 6 hours
Well,
earlier.
you can always do it in China.
Yeah, see, so you can be in bed right after dinner.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do some sort of live filming footage just for fun, see who's out there in the universe. And who knows, it could be one of the last times we go on TikTok if our government screws up like they do.
Well,
Um,
and then they keep restricting, the time and where you can do fireworks too. Like
yeah.
I think, mo most places ban fireworks in neighborhoods. They want you to go to a city park or something where they're doing fireworks or something there.
And I get it. I almost
Yeah.
blew up. I almost set our neighbor's house on fire. This was Luke was probably one or two, and we were having a New Year's thing at the house, and his sisters were over, and I got some really awesome fireworks, like awesome. And we were doing them in the backyard in the alley, like shooting up. And I was like, they might get too close to the houses. So I did it in the middle of the street. Well, I got this tank, and the tank was supposed to roll and fire straight up. I blamed it on the firework, but I'm pretty sure I put it upside down. It started shooting.
Sure.
Every neighbor, the neighbors that were watching went back inside and shut the door. It was pinging off Luke's window, and I'm like, my first thought was, man, don't wake him up. Like, like I don't care if it burns the neighborhood down, don't wake him up.
Right.
But luckily, it didn't do it, burn the neighborhood, and I stopped. I was done. That's the last time I've done any fireworks other than sparklers. So
I remember a neighbor once, and New Year's Eve, the trees have shed most of their leaves and all, but the trees are very, very dry. And a
yeah,
neighbor was shooting off some fireworks in his backyard, and it lit one of his big, big oak trees on fire. And all of a sudden, the sound of fireworks was muffled by the sound of sirens
you
coming
gotta run.
to
You
the
gotta go.
neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't do it again, but hey, there's been some fun New Year's, but I think at this point it's like I don't do the New Year's resolutions. I look at the some reflection, but really I just look at it as a sigh of relief, like we made it and we're
Yeah.
getting, because I gotta be honest with you, since 2019, each year has given us a horrible. I'm not saying they've been bad years. That's not what I'm saying. I've had some great moments. But I mean, I'm talking as far as the world and earth and politics and people. Like, it just, I can't do any more stories. Like,
Well, and I also think about tomorrow is 2025.
yeah,
We are already 1/4 into this new millennium.
yeah,
Remember 25, it was 25 years ago now that we were all worried that our computers were going to crash going from 1999 to 2000, and we all survived. And you look back and you say 25 years ago?
true.
Amazing.
Crazy. But whatever, I mean, we'll make it. We'll be here next week, hopefully. And we've avoided the aliens and avoided asteroids. So,
So far, but the holiday's not over yet. They could be landing early tomorrow when you
well, it
wake
was
up.
the big theory was December 3rd or 4th, there was a big giant space war. That was the thing going around. Alien ships were going to present themselves to us. And I'm like,
again.
Didn't happen. Well, once the government said they were real and they have footage, I was like, well, then there's no reveal anymore. Like you told us they're living in the ocean,
Right,
so
right. Well,
and probably in the ocean because they're like, you know what, we don't want to do it, guys. We're gonna just hang out down here, okay?
yeah.
So,
Well, go out, make it a good one. Toast it with a, you know, a little bit of bubbly, you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Have a good time, and we'll catch you next year,
See you
right?
next.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, go wake up that guy behind you. All right.
Oh, he's
He's gone. All right.
yeah.
Bye.